And I encourage you to just put whatever in your space that's going to make it comfortable. For me, that's tea, and I have my little baby diffuser going over there. So if that's something that's going to make you comfortable, take a moment to do whatever it is you need to do to make your space comfortable. I recommend having a blanket, just if you have sensitive knees or anything. Sometimes it helps when we're on the ground. Alrighty, just fixing our lighting a little bit because it's pretty tragic dark right now. Let's see. Alrighty, so whenever you're ready, go ahead and get into that comfortable seated position, whether it's crisscross applesauce, whether that's legs extended out long, you decide what feels good for you. And we're gonna just take a moment to check in with ourselves. So taking just a normal breath here, taking an inhale and exhale it all out. One more inhale and exhale, sigh it out. Taking one more big inhale and then exhale it all out. Now from here, I invite you to either close your eyes or you can just bring your eyes down on the place on the mat if you're uncomfortable with that. And we'll take a moment to find stillness. So give yourself permission to rest in this moment. And as we start our guided meditation, just take a moment to check in with yourself. How are you feeling? How are you doing? Something that we're asked very often, but take a moment to answer it honestly for yourself. And as we're finding stillness, maybe notice any areas of the body where you're holding tension. Maybe that's in the shoulders, could be in the back, the hip area. And then take a moment here to take 3 more deep breaths. Taking an inhale through the nose, and then exhale it out. One more inhale, and exhale it out. This time I invite you to take what's called a 4-part breath. So what we'll do is we'll inhale to the count of 4, hold it for 4, and then we'll exhale it all out. So when you're ready, go ahead and take an inhale, 2, 3, 4, hold, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, release it out. 2, 3, 4. We'll try that again, taking a great big inhale. 2, 3, 4. Hold. 2, 3, 4. And then exhale it all out. 2, 3, 4. Now, still with the eyes closed or just with the gaze kind of down, we're going to find some easy neck movement here. So just inhale, bringing the eyes down onto the ground, bringing the chin to the chest here. And then on the exhale, slowly leaning the head up and back. Leaning forward, connecting your breath to the movement in a way that feels good for you. And then leaning backward. Take a couple more here, leaning forward and back. And then slowly bringing the head back to a neutral position. And we'll take that same neck motion side to side. So looking over the right shoulder, and then slowly returning to center, and over the left shoulder, and slowly return to center. Taking just a couple more of this motion, back and forth. And when you're ready, bringing the head back to a neutral position. From here, we'll take a few affirmations. So I'll say an affirmation to cueing our breath and just saying it quietly to yourself. If you're around folks, you don't have to say it out loud. If you're feeling like that feels good for you today, then feel free to do so. So we'll take one big great inhale. And on the inhale, you imagine or think to yourself, I am. And on the exhale, you're saying to yourself, worthy. So inhale, saying I am. And on the exhale, you say to yourself, worthy. This time you inhale, saying to yourself, I am. And on the exhale, you say loved. One more time. Inhale, saying to yourself, I am. And on the exhale, saying to yourself, love. Taking one more inhale here. And on the exhale, I invite you to bring the hands to the heart just for a moment. Palms touching, hands come to the center of the chest. And take a moment to set an intention for your practice today. This is your why. Why do you get on the mat? Maybe it's you want to unwind from the day. Maybe it's you're holding tension in your body. I'll hush so you can decide whatever that intention is for yourself. Taking one more inhale. And on the exhale, we'll rain the hands down and flutter the eyes open if you took the closed option. If you took your seated position up on your heels, feel free to make your way onto your butt. Or if you took your meditation laying down, go ahead and join me in a seated position on the butt. And we're going to start warming up the body here. So I invite you to inhale the arms up and then exhale, bringing them down to the chest. Inhale the arms up and exhale, bringing them down to the center of the chest. We'll continue to take this motion, warming up the shoulders. And as we move through this practice, remember that I'm a guide for you. So anything that I say is a suggestion, but if something doesn't feel good for your body, please listen to your body. Continuing to take this motion 2 more times. Inhale, bringing the arms up. And exhale, bringing the hands to heart center. Last one as we inhale the arms up. And exhale, bringing the hands down to heart center. From here, I invite you to stretch the arms out wide into a T. And then cross your arms, giving yourself a hug to stretch out that upper back. If you're super flexy, you can take eagle arms, which means you'll just swing the bottom hand under and the hands will meet at the top. I'll come a little closer if you want to take the eagle option. You cross the arms, bottom hand swings up, and then the hands meet. If the hands meeting are super uncomfortable, feel free to keep the backs of the hands. If you're like, girl, I'm not doing eagle, that's fine. Stay with me and cross your arms. You'll still get a stretch. Taking a great big inhale. And then exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, you'll slowly unravel the arms. And this time the opposite arm swings on top. Either taking the arms across one another or taking that eagle variation. Chest is lifted up tall here. And we're taking an inhale. And exhale it out. One more inhale. And then on the exhale, slowly releasing it. And we'll continue to warm up here. So from here, I invite you to inhale, bringing the arms up. And on the exhale, the right hand comes down to the mat. We're leaning over to the right side. If you have more flexibility or if it feels better for you, you can also bring the forearm down onto the earth, whatever one feels good. I tell people to act as if you're shining that armpit up to the ceiling and not to collapse your ear to the shoulder, creating space there. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we'll go ahead and switch sides. This time, left hand comes down to the earth or your forearm, leaning over to the left side. Shining that armpit up to the ceiling. Taking an inhale. And exhale it out. One more inhale. And on the exhale, we return to center again. This time we're twisting open to the right side. So that right hand comes behind you. Left hand comes to the knee and you're looking over your right shoulder, getting a twist in the upper back. If this is super intense, feel free to bring both hands over to the right knee instead. If you're taking this twist with me, really use that back hand to keep you uplifted, again, keeping the ear away from the shoulder. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and make your way back to center. And this time we're opening up to the left side. Left hand comes to the earth, right hand to the knee, looking over our left shoulder. Getting a twist, warming up the spine here. Taking an inhale. And exhale it out. One more inhale. And on the exhale, slowly return to center. This time we're taking a forward fold. So I invite you to walk the hands forward here. And walk them out until you start to feel a stretch in the upper back, but it shouldn't be painful. So if you need to ease out a little bit out of the fold, feel free to do so. Bringing your eyes down to the earth, feeling a stretch in the neck area. Taking an inhale. And exhale. One more inhale. And on the exhale, slowly coming back up to a neutral position. And this time we're bringing the hands behind us. Zip the shoulder blades together, poke the chest out, and then if it feels good, gently lean the head back here. Remembering to breathe. Taking an inhale. And exhale it out. One more inhale. And on the exhale, slowly returning up to a neutral position. And we're going to make our way into a tabletop position. Now, if your knees are sensitive and this doesn't feel good for you, you can feel free to take this part on your butt as well. If not, go ahead and join me in that tabletop position with the knees underneath the hips, hands underneath the shoulders. You can play around with your hand placement if your hands turn out versus hands normal, whatever feels good for you. And we're going to take some cat-cows here. So on the inhale, we drop the belly and we're looking up. And on the exhale, we're rounding our spine, bringing our chin to our chest. So we inhale, drop the belly, and our gaze comes up. And then we exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Take about 3 more of these at your own pace, and then we'll meet back up together. Maybe taking one more inhale, dropping the belly, And exhale, rounding the spine. And from here, go ahead and sink back into a child's pose, bringing the toes together, shifting the knees out wider than the mat if you need to, and then walk the hands forward. If this is too intense, feel free to bring the hands underneath the head, kind of making a pillow for your head here. Reminder to breathe. Taking an inhale. And exhale it out. One more inhale. And this time on the exhale, you're going to walk both of the arms over to the right side, getting a stretch in that upper back. This is super uncomfortable. Feel free to stay in the neutral position of child's pose. Taking an inhale. And exhale it out. One more inhale. And on the exhale, slowly bringing the hands back to center, and we'll walk the hands over to the left now. Remembering to breathe. Taking 2 breaths on your own here. And when you're ready, walking the hands back to center, and we'll come back up into that tabletop position, and we'll start to create a little bit of a flow movement out of this. So we're going to do that cat, cow, and then we'll sink back into child's pose. And I'll just hope that I don't flash you all with the sports bra today, because if I do, that's an extra fee. Just kidding, just kidding. Okay, so on tabletop position, inhale, dropping the belly, and we're looking up. And then exhale, rounding the spine, chin to chest. Then we sink down into that child's pose just for a moment. We press back up to a tabletop position. Inhale, dropping the belly. And exhale, rounding the spine. Inhale, dropping to child's pose. And we'll take it just one more time. Inhale, coming up, drop the belly. And exhale, rounding the spine. Go ahead and drop down into that child's pose. And then we're coming back up to a tabletop position. This time we're bringing our right foot forward to take a low crescent lunge. So walk the foot out just a little bit here. Hands can come down onto the mat or on the top of your thigh. You can play around with if you want to keep that back foot, your toes lifted, or your back foot flat on the ground. Finding crescent lunge here. If you're really feeling it, go ahead and bring the arms up if you need to deepen the stretch some. If not, your hands are fine where they are. Taking an inhale. And then on the exhale, we'll lean back, bringing the hands down on the mat, creating a hamstring stretch here. And we'll take that motion again. So we inhale, pressing into the crescent lunge. And then exhale, sinking back for a hamstring stretch. And when you're ready, bringing that right knee back down to the earth. And we'll do the same thing on the other side. Left foot comes forward this time. Walking the toes out a bit until you feel a stretch. Sinking into that low crescent lunge. Hands can come to the top of the knee or onto the earth. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, sinking back, getting that stretch in the hamstring here. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, go ahead and sink into that crescent lunge. Sinking back once more. And this time we will come to stepping into a standing forward fold. So making your way up onto your feet, feet plant down, bend the knees as much as you need to make this feel comfortable. Taking a forward fold here. And then I invite you just to bring the feet a little bit wider than the hips and grab your opposite elbow, taking ragdoll pose here. Maybe you just sway side to side super gently. If this is too intense, feel free to go back to that fold. And then maybe you shake your head yes, and shake your head no. And then go ahead and bring the hands back down to the earth if you took that ragdoll position. Slowly bringing your hands onto the hips, and we'll make our way up, coming up super, super slow. Head is the last thing to reach the top. And once you reach the top, hands can come down beside your side or hands to heart center. Just taking a moment to check in with yourself. How are you feeling since the start of the class? Being honest with yourself. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we'll bring the hands up. You can make sort of this like steeple position, for lack of a better word. I'm sure there's a term for it, but this is what we're calling it today. And we'll inhale through the center and then exhale, leaning over to the right side. Getting a stretch in the top of the body. If you need to bring the feet out wide, feel free to do so. Using that bottom hand to really press and lift. If this is uncomfortable, you can always take the hands into a Y and you'll get the same stretch. And then we'll come back to center and we're lifting up and over to the opposite side, using that bottom hand to really press up here. Remembering that you can take that Y shape if it feels better. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, returning to center. And go ahead and bring the hands back down to mountain and meet me at the top of your mat. Now from here, the right foot will plant. We'll step back with our left foot. Your left foot, your toes are turned at a 45-degree angle as we're taking warrior one. So we inhale, bringing the arms up here. Taking a moment here, chest is lifted. Make any adjustments if you need to. And when you're ready, you'll open up to warrior two, looking over the left hand. Again, making any adjustments that you need to. Right toes are faced forward and that back foot is at a 90-degree angle. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we'll slowly bring the left hand down the left leg. Right hand tilts up for reverse warrior. Sinking into that front foot, still bending the front knee. And then on the exhale, we'll slowly bring the elbow to the top of the thigh for extended right angle and lift up that arm. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, hands plant down beside the foot, making our way into a low lunge. Option to keep that back foot lifted, or you can drop the knee. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, left hand plants down, right hand comes to the top of our thigh, and you're going to press into your thigh, looking over the right shoulder here. Getting a twist. Drop that knee down if you did take that variation as you're twisting. Taking an inhale, and on the exhale, slowly returning back to neutral. Sinking back in that hamstring stretch again. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to press up, shifting the weight onto the right foot, coming into a standing L here. Walk the hands out just a little bit more in front of you and bring your gaze up front as well to help you balance. That's the trick that I use. And then go ahead and bring that left foot back down onto the earth. I'm gonna inhale, halfway lift, sliding the hands up the shins. And then exhale, forward fold. Plant your feet down, and then we inhale, rising all the way back up to the top. And we'll do the same thing on the opposite side. So that left foot plants, right foot steps back. Remember, those back toes are at a 45-degree angle, but the hips are squared to the front for warrior one. Inhale, bringing the arms up. And on the exhale, we're turning, looking over our right hand, making our way into warrior two. Arms stretched out here. Being careful not to lean. Super easy to do that. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, right hand slides down, right leg, left hand tilts up. Reverse warrior. And then on the exhale, moving through that warrior two, making our way into extended side angle. Left hand comes to the top of the thigh, right arm lifts up here. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, making your way into that low lunge here. Go ahead and drop the knee. Right hand plants down on the earth. Left hand comes to the top of that left thigh. And then you dig into the thigh, pressing, 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 creating a twisted motion here. Remembering to breathe. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, returning back to center. And again, we're sinking into that hamstring stretch. Taking an inhale. And when you're ready, making your way up to standing, shifting your weight onto that left leg, walking those hands forward, taking a standing L. Taking an inhale. Finding your balance here. Cussing me out if you need to, that's cool too. And then go ahead and bring that right foot back down to the earth. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. And inhale, coming all the way back up. Hands float down beside you for mountain pose. We're gonna add on just a tiny, tiny bit, but picking up the pace just a little bit. So right foot plants, left foot steps back. Inhale, arms up for warrior one. Exhale, opening up, warrior two. This time you straighten that front leg and you're leaning over, taking triangle pose. So lean over, 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 and then finally tilt down. Hand can come to your shin, your ankle, or to the ground or a block. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, you're going to lean forward, bringing both of the hands onto the earth, taking a wide leg forward fold. From here, just kind of create a little movement here, rocking side to side. And when you're ready, walking the hands over to the left foot. You're in a low runner's lunge. Plant your heel down, and then we're pressing up to warrior one on the other side. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we're opening up, looking over the right arm. Straighten that front leg, lean over, 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 and finally tilt down, bringing the hand to the shin, the ankle, or the mat, tilting that top arm up. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, bringing the hands back into that wide leg forward fold. I'll face you so my butt is not to you. Wide leg forward fold. Right hand plants down on the earth and the left arm comes up, taking another twist here. Taking an inhale. And then on the exhale, left hand plants down. And this time we take that twist, right arm shines up to the ceiling. Taking an inhale. And exhale, hand come back to the center. Taking a moment to find a little movement side to side again. And then go ahead and walk the feet in and make your way down onto your bottom. Gonna take a butterfly position here. Taking a moment just to open up the hips, chest is lifted, starting to wind ourselves down. I invite you to extend that left leg out and then bring the right sole of your foot into that groin area, taking head to knee pose. So we inhale through center and then exhale, leaning over the foot. If it's super uncomfortable to grab on the sole of your foot, you can lean over to the left side, and again, you'll get the same stretch. Taking an inhale and exhale it out. One more inhale. And on the exhale, we're switching legs. Right leg, go ahead and extend out. And the left leg, left foot comes into our inner groin area. That is a tongue twister. We inhale through the center and then exhale over to the right. Remembering to breathe. Taking 2 breaths on this side. And when you're ready, we'll go ahead and slowly make our way onto our backs. Bringing the soles of your feet down onto the earth, slowly making your way onto the back. And then go ahead and hug your knees into your chest here. You can grab either just below the knees, behind the hamstrings, whatever feels most comfortable for you. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, we're going to send the knees over to the right side, creating a twist here. Arms come into a T. Taking an inhale. And exhale it out. One more inhale. And on the exhale, knees come to the center of the chest again, and then go ahead and fan them over to the left side. And a T, this time looking over your right hand. Taking an inhale. And exhale it out. One more inhale. And on the exhale, bringing the knees to the chest. This time the left leg extends out long and that right knee continues to hug in for half. When release. And then go ahead and extend the right leg and hug in the left knee. Taking an inhale. And on the exhale, planting both of the feet down on the ground. Option to take bridge with me, or you can hang out here. If you're taking bridge with me, the hands are going to plant down on the earth. We press through our feet and we lift our hips. So when you're ready, take an inhale, lifting the hips up, pressing onto the earth here. And then exhale, slowly lowering back down. And then just windshield wiper the legs here, side to side. Taking a little bit of a counter pose to all of the twisting we've done today. And when you're ready, bring the soles of the feet together and fan the legs out for a reclined bound angle, and then bring the hands overhead, and you can grab at your elbows or just leave them stretched out long. If this reclined bound angle position is super duper uncomfortable, feel free to extend your legs out long instead. And just take a moment here to give yourself permission to be still. And in this reclined bound angle, you'll take a 3-part breath. So staying in this reclined bound angle, and what you'll do is you'll imagine the breath traveling up the belly, up the chest, and then we'll release it all out. So when you're ready, inhale, breath traveling up through the belly, up through the chest, and then exhaling it all out. Inhale, taking a super deep inhale, and then exhale, releasing it out. Taking one more great big inhale, and then exhale, releasing it all out. I invite you to bring the knees together and then kick both feet up in the air, straight up in the air. And then drop your knees closer to your chest for happy baby. You can grab behind the hamstrings at the sole of your foot, or do a peace sign and wrap around your big toe. Playing around here, maybe you extend a leg, rock a little bit. Remembering to breathe. And when you're ready, slowly extending the legs out long, you can make your way into corpse pose, or bring the soles of the feet on the earth, or you can come to a sitting position if that feels better, as we make our way into our final resting posture of Shavasana. So whatever position feels good for you, go ahead and take it. And then just find stillness, giving yourself permission to rest. And when you're ready, wherever you decided to take Shavasana, just begin wiggling the fingers and toes to bring some awareness back to the body. If you took the lying down posture, go ahead and shift your weight, rolling over onto your side, and then making your way into the fetal position. Taking a moment here. And when you're ready, using your hands to press off of the earth and make your way back into a comfortable seated position if you were lying down. Taking your time, super slow, so you make your way back up. And when you're ready, we'll inhale the arms up, hands meet at the top, and exhale, bringing the hands down to heart center. Taking a moment here just to tell yourself an affirmation that you really, really need to hear right now. And then taking a moment to express gratitude for your body and to yourself for showing up and doing something towards your self-care. We'll take one more inhale just to seal that affirmation in. And then on the exhale, go ahead and bring the hands down. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me tonight. I will just end the recording. I think I'll end the recording.